you are too late. My current body is at its limit. I need another worthy vessel to house my spirit. If I were to take any normal human, my awesome power would tear it apart. But every few decades, there is one born in the shadow of darkness. A human capable of augmenting my powers beyond comprehension. Diluc is one such human. His dark powers were sealed as a child. Now he possesses a foolishly naive sense of justice. But no matter. With his body, I will use the Mana Fortress to rule the world. It is time.
Dingus.
This body is withering. I must possess my vessel now.
Diluc, you can't let him do this. Resist him.
Body, my body cannot last. It's falling apart. Help! You.
Diluc, can you hear me?
What? Where am I?
How good this new body be? What power! Now the world is mine for the taking!
No! Not Diluc! You give him back right now! You can't just steal someone's body!
My dear, I can do anything I want. Behold, your beloved Diluc. I can't move!
Can you hear me? It's really me, Diluc. You must listen to me. My connection won't last for long. Thanatos is too strong, but I know how to defeat him. Thanatos was once an ancient sorcerer who sold his soul to Mavolia in exchange for eternal life. His spirit is eternal, but his body decays. When his mortal body grows weak, he must find a new host. And with each new host, his spirit grows darker as it feeds on hatred and destruction.
Silence!
I'm sorry. This is goodbye. But I have to do this. Please, take care of her.
Diluc, no! No, stop! You can't!
I like how all the information he gave us is stuff that was already made apparent in that cutscene and doesn't actually help us at all. It turns out the answer is actually just hit him a whole lot.
I finally cultivated the perfect vessel! I can't survive like this! I have no alternative! You must relinquish your bodies to me!
Can you cast at him? Sure. Go for it. Well, this is going great.
Give me your strength.
What do you want, dude? Just let me charge.
You asked for it.
Pathetic. Power of the underworld.
Healing power of Undeep. Pure water.
Take more than that. Thanks.
Get ready.
They didn't really do a bad job with this track, but the energy is so drastically different. It's not even the same song, really. Yes, you're very dangerous. Now get up where I can hit you, please.
Keep it coming.
Worthless vermin. Having trouble? Pathetic. Pitiful. Don't move. You cannot compare. Don't move.
This would be a whole lot more dangerous if he, like, moved or tried to actually catch me, instead of just grabbing at the air.
Take that.
Worthless vermin.
There we go. The double achievement. Wow.
No. Dylan!
Hey.
I was sure there were some enemies I had neglected to fight in some of these weird areas.
Oh no. We gotta get out now.
But apparently I found everything.
What's wrong?
Oh, I'm okay. Just dizzy. Forget about me. We got bigger fish to fry. We gotta run! So that's a mana beast? It looks like Flammy.
Well, I guess Flammy and his kind are mana beasts themselves.
Come on! We gotta hurry before that great mana beast destroys any more than it already has! Come on, bro! Do it!
This track is pretty cool, though.
I can't! I just can't hurt the mana beast. Do you understand what will happen if I destroy it? Only that beast can bring mana back to the world. Without it, mana will cease to exist. And that means... without any mana, sprites will disappear. You'll disappear.
What?
I'm right, aren't I? How can you ask me to do this?
Oh, come on. It's not like I'm gonna die or anything. My world of sprites and elementals will just be separated from this one. It means I won't see you again. Look, if we don't stop the mana beast, the world is finished, right? Don't worry about sprites. Plants, animals, people, and sprites won't stand a chance with the mana beast out there, got it? You wield the mana sword. It's your job to save the world. You can't run away from this. You promised your mother. Remember the mana tree? Don't worry. It'll be okay.
You're sure?
Duh. Weren't you listening? Let's get going.
Alright.
Take up the sword. We'll cast our mana magic on it. Then the true mana sword will appear. Mana power. Mana, we need you.
I'm hoping for a lot from this fight. This is like, in the original, this is like one of the coolest looking fights in the entire SNES. So.
Right up me.
Take more than that.
How long is the spell gonna last? The levels I have. That long.
Mana, we need you. Mana power.
How much longer do I have, though? Got a pretty decent window.
Water. Pure water.
We'll be fine.
Take more than that.
Just make me waste the entire window, why don't you? It's not worth weaving in extra buffs, just causes so much extra time to be spent. Right after this hits, I need to heal. Now we need to get the spells up. I'm gonna take both of these hits, then I'm gonna buff. Probably heal and then buff, but I'm gonna be silly and... well, I need to. As soon as this goes off. Thanks. Very good crit.
Takes more than that.
Should be able to last through both of the hits here. Actually, I'm not gonna. Good thing I didn't. Let me hit you. Thank you.
Takes more than that. Thanks.
Okay, just keep it stable. Do as many rotations as it takes.
Takes more than that. Takes more than that. Thanks.
Thank you. Would you target somebody else with those? Please.
Takes more than that.
But of course, the important question, does it take more than that? Oh, I have an odd number. I'm gonna see if I can analyze this. See how far along I am? Or I am not.
Analyzer.
Seems to not work. Ah, did 18 without the buff. Good crit. Need those. Ooh boy.
Pure water.
Thanks.
You know, I'm gonna not do this just yet. I'm actually gonna get the buffs up sooner this time. Good crit. Why does it say it heals approximately 100 if it heals exactly 100?
Pure water. Thanks.
Takes more than that.
Healing power of Unseen. Pure water. Thanks. Mana power. Mana, we need you.
Takes more than that.
It's still the same fight. Fortunately, it still looks pretty flat. About all I can credit it, though.
Thanks. Thanks. Takes more than that.
I wonder if I can still cancel the second hit if I try to heal up right now.
Pure water. Thanks.
Looks like it.
Mana power.
Oh, nice crit at the end.
Takes more than that.
However, it takes more than that. Sure, it's incredibly boring, but it looks neat.
Takes more than that.
Water. Pure water. Mana power. Mana
One hit. Well.
What? No! They're gone. We couldn't even say goodbye.
Not them too.
I'll never forget you. Ever.
Me neither. Or Dialogue. We have to be strong, like they were. We have to survive.
The Mana Beast is turning into... snow.
I still never understood that part. This does not lip sync at all. It's a wonder sometimes if they even open somebody's mouth while they're saying something important. Like, I'm pretty sure that was just idle position with mouth open that just happened to look like it was opening and closing. When that steamship rolled by, I was staring and trying to figure out if they were actually using the model or just an image for that. It didn't look like the model at all. I mean, it looked like it, but it looked completely static. No, apparently all the music in this was done by the original composer. And also, Yuzo Koshiro. I can see that. And also, these people. And also, these people. They put a lot of people on the music. And these people. And those people. Yeah, I can definitely see that there were different teams on different parts of the soundtrack. There are like a few tracks that just kind of go nuts into guitar solos for some reason, and a few tracks that have like chorus enunciations rather than like, not like singing, it's just sounds kind of like FF6 opera sounds but with actual people. And so on. There are a lot of like types of track. Anyway, as for this as a remake, it's not a remake. It doesn't change the content at all, it just gives it a new face. It's a remaster. But, nothing that it really adds really feels like it's for the better. The whole 3D thing and omnidirectional movement and attacking doesn't feel like it adds anything. Bosses being able to move and attack omnidirectionally just makes them easier, like infinitely easier. Like, unless the challenge of a boss is it hits the entire everything and there's nothing you can do about it, and is way outclassing you numerically, which happens more than once, there's no... Like, if it's an even one-to-one fight, there is no challenge to any boss in the game. I don't think Thanatos did any damage to me other than spells, and he's supposed to be able to do stuff, but while he was doing the stuff, he didn't, like, try to hit you with it, he just stood there. He does this whole, like, go underground and try to grab you with his hands, but he just stood there. Just, I'm grabbing at the air, and isn't that dangerous? No. No, you're just wasting time. I feel like General Combat, the way they had to recode things because it's in a new movement and attacking engine, it's all for the worse, it feels like to me. Like, some things take way too long to get back up to the point where they can't actually do anything to you ever. And other things will just hit you constantly. Just like absolutely constant bombardment of hits for way too much damage. There's no in-between. Like, there wasn't anything that I felt like I was, you know, fairly contesting against. It was either, this is a huge pain in the ass and I have to magic spam it to get through, or I can just stomp on it until it stops. I don't know what I did wrong to fall behind on gear near the end, but it caused such a huge numeric upset through the late game that I spent like 3 hours in a place that should have taken 1. I don't know how much of that is on me for not making sure I get like late tier but not end tier gear, and how much of that is just something being wrong with the calibration here. Because I've never had that happen before. I've never run into a position where I'm not able to buy every tier of gear as soon as I see it. And I don't know what was different that I had so much less money this time. But that came up multiple times. I don't know, maybe I was rushing it, maybe I was just skipping things because I know the game and I'm like, let's just go. Or what was up, but... The music is different but fine. Like, there weren't a lot of tracks that I would go out of my way to contest. This is empirically worse than the original. There were a couple that I would say that for. There are also quite a few that I would say are well elevated. But in general, it's different but even, I would say. And that's what I would say with a lot of remix soundtracks that I've done this year, like Saga 2 and 3, Romancing Saga 1. They've all been significantly different, either in mood or style or something, but still perfectly fine of their own merit. And this port in particular runs like crap. It is full of technical problems, and I have been suffering them constantly. Such as my controller not working right, not being able to reconfigure the buttons, the game forcing it into multiplayer mode as long as it detects multiple controllers are plugged in, and so on. Also, every time you load the game up, it sets the volume to 100%. Even if you know, keep setting it down to, like, less than half. There are just a lot of little things technically wrong with this port that drag it down. The achievements come in 2 categories. One is obligatory in the process of playing the game, and the other is go way out of your way to grind for way too long. Those are the only 2 kinds. So there's no, like, meaningful achievement. It's just, have you played through the game? And did you grind to the 9s on your weapons, on your magic? Did you fight every single monster? Did you get all of the rare drop gear? And so on. the silliest one is for landing at every single individual destination on Flammy. What is the point of that? There was an achievement for beating the final boss, and also an achievement for sitting through the entire credits. What's up with that? And I'll tell you what, there's actually I looked up the stats on it, there's actually a considerable difference in the percent of people that beat the game and the percent of people that got to the end of the credits. That's the real shocker. Generally speaking, I had a lot less fun as an aggregate playing this as opposed to playing the original. I would highly recommend you just play the original and don't bother with this. This entire effort was not worth making a whole lot of fans of the game pay for it again. And as for the whole reaching new audiences thing, you can just port it as is, you know? Just keep it the same. Don't put all this time and work into wasting your resources. It was better before. I'm not saying that as like rose-tinted goggles, you know, I'm all about the nostalgia games. No. I'm saying that because I played both of them within a few months of each other, and one felt a lot more enjoyable than the other.